What is composting?
Composting is the breakdown of food into soil.
What can I compost?
You can compost anything that comes from a plant. Some ideas for kitchen waste you can compost are apple cores, banana peels, tea bags, onion peels, coffee grounds, and other kitchen scraps. You cannot compost any product derived from an animal. Products such as meat, fish, dairy, and eggs promote the growth of bad bacteria that can lead to smelly odors and toxic byproducts. Home composting setups do not operate at a high enough temperature to compost these types of materials.
Types of composting.
One of the simplest and most affordable types of compost bin is the stand-up compost bin. You can leave it in your yard, and whenever you're ready, just bring your kitchen waste out and dump it in. It helps to have a tool to stir it with. It'll freeze up a lot in the winter, but it'll compost pretty quickly in the summer months. It's a good idea to have a bin of dry leaves nearby that you can use to mix in case you have odor or too moist of compost. Another type of home composting system is the tumbler bin. The tumbler bin is a lot like the stand-up composting system, but it's supposed to be done all in one batch. You fill the tumbler when you have enough compost to fill it completely. I put this batch in last fall. It's almost all broken down now, and just like the stand-up bin, you'll want to add some dry leaves. It's a lot easier to turn once or twice a day. You just have to let it tumble. There are also some indoor composting systems available. One example is the Bokashi composter. The Bokashi composter is a closed system that you can put kitchen scraps into, along with the Bokashi enzymes, molasses, and grain mix. This helps control odors, and it also promotes a quick breakdown of foods. Another indoor option is a vermicomposting bin, which is done by red wiggler worms. I don't have any active worms right now, but I've had luck with this system before. You just have to be pretty attentive and make sure there's warm enough temperatures and moisture to keep your worms alive. Both of these indoor systems will produce liquids during condensation when the materials break down. That moisture will collect in the bottom and can be drained and used as fertilizer in your gardens or houseplants.
Does compost smell?
A lot of things in your house can produce bad odors, but compost doesn't have to be one of them. If you remember to keep a lid on your compost, the same way you keep a lid on your garbage, and add dry brown material whenever odors start, you will not have a problem with smelly compost.
What are the benefits of composting?
Unlike chemical fertilizers, if your dog gets a hold of a little of your organic homemade compost, it's really nothing to worry about. The compost you produce can be used as nutrient-rich garden soil. It may look kind of chunky, but that leaves lots of space for the movement of plant roots and earthworms through the soil. Another benefit of composting is it's less food waste that you have to pay to put out in your weekly garbage. And if we're lucky, someday we might even be able to put compost out to the curb, just like we do with our recyclables.
Can you compost feces?
Technically, you can compost feces. Both of these serviceberry bushes are planted over what used to be dog poop composting holes. If you pour lime and water down the hole weekly, you'll be able to break the feces down over time. The rate at which it breaks down will depend on how deep you are originally able to dig the hole, the number and size of dogs you have, and the climate where you live. It's also possible to use a composting toilet to collect human manure. And while human and dog waste should never be used in vegetable gardens, it is an appropriate fertilizer for fruit trees. Cat feces should never be composted because it can carry the toxoplasma parasite that can remain dormant in the soil for many years.
Thank you for watching.